Hi everyone, my name is Sad, and in this video I'm gonna share with you 10 tips that I use for my concert when I go on stage. Going on stage and doing a gig is incredible. It can be great and it can be pretty bad. But actually, if you follow a bit these 10 rules that I use for my concert, maybe it can be a nice moment of sharing your emotion and telling your story. That is all what concerts are about. So the first tip is obviously to prepare and rehearse as much as you can. You of course gonna rehearse your songs. Maybe you can have an idea of the set list. What song are you gonna play first? Maybe what you're gonna tell between the songs, and to make sure all the technical part and knowing the songs and the lyrics are not what you're thinking about when you're performing, and you're more thinking about the emotion and sharing your story. All this knowing that things are not gonna go as planned. That's the very important part. So rehearse knowing that things are gonna happen. I'm not gonna use the word. The second tip is to make sure you do a full checkup on the gear before going to the bar or going to the stage or the hall, if you're a big star, which I doubt you would see this kind of video. But the thing I do is usually I rehearse in condition. It means that I will take part of my place and put exactly the gear I'm gonna use for that concert, so that when I'm packing, everything is in front of me. And don't forget to pack things to be able to record, video and audio. Why not a smartphone stand, or what we call an audio recorder like a Zoom, because recording your concert is really, really valuable. The third tip is to make sure you show up early. Take a lot of margins. Traffic or public transport can be hectic, and the more you're gonna show up early, the more time you're gonna have to set up, to think about the stage situation, to double check your gear, to feel a bit also the mood of the concert hall or the bar, to take the time to say hi properly to everybody, to the sound engineer, to the team behind the bar, and why not have the time to set up, to do the sound check, and maybe have some time to discuss with the people in the audience already. The fourth tip that is really, really important: the worst thing that can happen during a concert is damaging your ear. Nothing else worse than that can happen. If you fail to play correctly a song, it's not that a big deal. If you completely miss your concert and only play wrong notes, it's not a big deal. Nothing's gonna happen. It's not that important. But your ears, you can have damage on your ears during, for example, the sound check. That's a big classic thing that happened. Is you come on the sound check and you have these monitors, and for many, many, many reasons, there's gonna be some feedback or a very, very loud sound coming out of the monitors or from your in-ears. So if you play with monitors, make sure you wear earplug during the sound check. And obviously when you're gonna ask the sound engineer, look, let's make the levels, I am gonna take up my earplugs, so that he's aware he should absolutely avoid do anything that will create a feedback. So protect your ears, because that's the worst thing that can happen during a concert. The fifth advice before starting your concert is to take a moment to connect with yourself, because you can be taking a spiral of saying hi to everybody or being obsessed with the technical part, your gear, the recording, even like 2 or 3 minutes to take some time. If you have a backstage possibility, just take these 2 or 3 minutes to really relax, maybe close your eyes a little bit, think about someone that you that is very important for you, or if you like to do meditation, it's a good moment. Maybe do some vocal exercises or some relaxation with breathing. This is really, really key because it allows you to start connecting with what is important, is your emotions. Because that, if you miss a concert, if you miss the emotion of a concert, that's where it's actually, the concert is a missed opportunity. If you miss the notes, it's not that important. Then this brings us to my sixth tip, is focus on emotion. When you're playing, focus on the story, focus on what you feel, tell your story to the public, because the notes and what you're playing and the rhythm and the sound structure, the song structure is actually a vehicle. It's a vector for your emotion and your story. So make sure you are you tapped into that emotional part of you and not just the technical part. And the seventh tip is making sure you interact with the humans in the room. If you're playing with other musicians, make sure you keep a nice eye contact with them. It's great if you keep a beautiful smile on. You don't need to smile all the time, but if the public the audience see you have an eye contact or a little bit of a funny moment with the people in your band, this really elevates their experience, and that's very relatable. And of course, interact with the audience. Some people speak a lot to the audience in between the songs, others don't. And you don't need to speak to the audience to interact with them. Even during a song, you can look at them, and sometimes without looking at them, they can feel the audience. This is a bit esoteric, but you'll get it in context. The eighth tip is that mistakes are gonna happen. Technical problems are gonna happen in every concert. You're gonna play the wrong note, there's gonna be a problem with your microphone, there's gonna be a problem with your laptop, there's gonna be a problem with your bass, your guitar amp, with every possible thing, the very piece of gear that always is reliable is always gonna fail at the biggest stage you're gonna perform in. I have so many stories about that. So be aware that it is gonna happen. And what's gonna save you is focus on what's essential. Again, it's the emotion. Of course, there is some level of problems that will completely make the concert impossible. But even if there is like an electricity cut, you can sing something a cappella if you're in a small room. Always use emotion as your lifeline. The ninth tip, and I'm continuing the story about when you're in a concert. The ninth tip is, at the end of the concert, be grateful. Even if not so many people showed up to your concert, don't focus on those who didn't show up, and be very grateful for those who did. We have so much options to be entertained today, that those who left their flats and to go out and come and take a car or the public transport to go to your concert instead of watching Netflix or scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, they give you their time. And so be grateful with every person that is there. Be grateful to the sound engineer, to the people behind the bar, to the people who booked you, because it is sometimes easy to be, and I include myself in that, to be completely overwhelmed with the amount of work you put on the concert, only to have way less people that you have imagined. So be grateful, always. And my 10th tip and final tip, I know it can be difficult for some of you, rewatch your concert. If you have recorded it, video and audio, I highly recommend that you record both video and audio, because by watching yourself, you're gonna see so many moments where you could improve. your connection with the public, when you realize you're drowning in the technical part, when you're gonna realize that some songs work better in the beginning, better at the end. So really rewatching is incredible for improving and seeing your concert and maybe sharing it with other people, with your family. I love sharing my concert with my family that is in Morocco that cannot come to my concerts. I'm based in Brussels. So first one, prepare, gear checkup before leaving, show up early, protect your ears, take a moment to do an introspection, focus on your emotions, interact with the humans in the room, be okay with mistakes, be grateful, and rewatch your concert. I hope you like this. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and give a thumbs up. And who knows, like maybe in your comments, you're gonna come with some great idea for my next videos or some stories about concerts. And I'll leave you there. Have a great day ahead and see you soon. Bye.